Check your dog's food bag right now. If you see these three ingredients, you're literally feeding your dog something that is causing them to be anxious and misbehave without even knowing it. So you've tried everything to calm your dog down. You're doing all the things, but at every single meal, you're unknowingly fueling their anxiety. And it's really not your fault because these ingredients are in like 80% of commercial dog foods, even the expensive ones that say premium or natural right on the front of the bag. So today I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for. And by the end of this video, you're going to know if your dog's food is working against you or not. Okay, ingredient number one, high glycemic carbohydrates. I'm talking about corn, wheat, white rice, potatoes. These are basically just cheap fillers that dog companies use, and they spike your dog's blood sugar. So think about how you feel after you eat a bunch of sugar. You get that jittery, wired feeling, and then you crash. And your dog is going through the exact same thing. If they eat their food, their blood sugar shoots up, they get all hyperactive and restless, and then they crash hard, but they can't settle down properly because their cortisol is still up. So if your dog is already anxious or misbehaving, this is making it so much worse because now their body is on a blood sugar roller coaster with all of the stress hormones already being all over the place. They literally cannot regulate their nervous system when their blood sugar is doing this all day long. So grab your dog's food bag right now and let's look at the first few ingredients. So if you see cornmeal, white rice, wheat flour, potatoes, sweet potatoes as one of the top ingredients, that's a high glycemic carb and it's spiking your dog's anxiety every time they eat it. Ingredient number two, artificial preservatives. I'm talking about BHA, BHT. They have a few other sneaky names as well. They're basically chemicals that keep foods from going bad while they're sitting on the shelf for months, but they're actually neurotoxins. They mess with your dog's brain and their whole nervous system. There's research that links these preservatives to hyperactivity, to behavioral issues, and anxiety in dogs. It's the same thing we see with kids when they eat artificial additives. It affects their behavior, and it's sitting right there in your dog's bowl every single day. So flip your bag over and look at the ingredients list. If you see artificial preservatives anywhere on there, that's a huge red flag. Your dog is eating neurotoxins every single day, and that's really messing with their stress response and their ability to calm down. Okay, ingredient number three, food dyes. Red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 2. These are artificial colors that dog food companies add to make the food look more appealing to you, not to your dog, because your dog does not care what color their food is. But you know what does react to food dyes is your dog's nervous system. There's so much research on food dyes causing hyperactivity in kids. And guess what? It does the exact same thing to dogs. These are linked to increased reactivity, restlessness, anxiety, and they're completely unnecessary. There's like zero nutritional purpose. They're only there so that you think the dog looks pretty or healthy when you're standing in the pet food aisle. So check your bag again. If you see any color followed by a number, so like red 40 or yellow 5, anything like that, your dog is eating food dye and it's making them anxious. Now, here's the frustrating part. These three ingredients are in so many dog foods. I'm talking like big brands, expensive brands, food that market themselves as premium and natural. It doesn't matter. You have to actually read the ingredients list because the marketing on the front of the bag means absolutely nothing. I've seen grain-free foods with artificial preservatives in them. I've seen organic foods with food dyes. I've seen premium foods with high glycemic fillers as the very first ingredient. You can't trust the label on the front. You have to flip it over and read what's actually in the bag. So if you just checked your dog's food and you found one or more of these ingredients, don't panic. This is totally fixable. But you do need to switch your dog's food because as long as you're feeding them these ingredients, They're working against every other thing you're trying to do to calm your dog down. So if you want to know what dog foods I actually recommend that you feed your dog, you can go ahead and go over to our shop page. I have put together a collection of dog foods that I know are wonderful and healthy for your dogs. You can get the link in the description. I also have a calming meal formula that I am putting together for my new course, Chaos to Calm. It's all about how to calm your dog naturally. So if you want to jump on the waitlist for that course, you can go ahead to the waitlist page. The link is in the description. And if you are watching this on a replay, you can click it and maybe the course is already out and you'll be able to just get it. So just make sure that your dog does not have those high glycemic carbs, that they don't have artificial preservatives or food dyes, because that means you're sabotaging your dog's calm. And until you fix their nutrition, everything else is going to be so much harder than it needs to be. All right, so we've been talking about some different things you can do to start calming your dog down, but what about if your dog is in a full-blown panic attack? If you have a dog that reacts to fireworks or to the doorbell ringing and they have like a huge reaction, then you really need to do something for them in that moment. They're pacing, they're panting, they won't settle down. What do you actually do in that moment? That's what I'm covering in my next video. I'm going to teach you a 2-minute emergency protocol that you can use when your dog is spiraling and you just need to get them back down fast. So click the link in the description or hit the card that just popped up on the screen. All right, I'll see you in the next video.